Ready, honey.
Okay. Immigration was a major turning point in America. Each step in the process was a step into our society today. America would not be as multicultural, be as economically balanced, be an equal society, or have some of the laws we have placed today if there weren't immigrants. Immigrants founded our nation by spreading their different cultures and ideas. If we cut off immigration today, we could hinder from research and ideas that could help our society, and we may never develop into something greater. Immigration has worked as a beneficial system and should remain an open policy. But by putting a ban on the system, it will only cause outbreak and loss of order. The ban on travel of immigrants does not mollify those who deserve to be allowed into this country, who could be visiting family who came over long before the ban. We as Americans would be not as strong, equal, and cultural if it wasn't for our history, which had an open immigration. Also, if African Americans had not come to America and fought for their freedom and equality, would the white race be a dictatorship? We should not be pushing those out who developed our country into a better environment. Those of different races or cultural backgrounds have to go through the process of reclamation to free themselves of discrimination being presented by pushing them away from an open country. For the past decades, wealthy white men have taken charge of everything, whether it's business, presidency, military, or others. But for the first time, 4 years ago, we elected an African-American president who understood the discrepancy in the system of equality, and he wanted to make a difference. However, once he was through his term and Donald Trump became the new leader of our country, old views were once placed again. Trump, a wealthy white man, had won and is in the process of building a wall to separate cultures and closing the doors of immigration. With Trump's immigration ban, there's a sanction placed for those who try to enter the United States without proper identification, and those who the government feels is a threat to the country. Many citizens dislike this idea because of the initial immigration that created this country and other reasons mentioned before. We shouldn't only ban certain races, cultures, or religions for terrorism when crime would be present in America regardless of who we do and don't let in. Immigration should be open, and the United States should remain the multicultural and equal society the immigrants have left. Because after all, if you could go back in time and accept Anne Frank's visa, which we denied, would you split up a mother and her baby because she isn't a citizen but her child was born here? Would you deny a young girl asylum to escape sex slavery or persecution?
Okay, 2 minutes, 44 seconds. Con.
The position of the United States as an asylum for the dangerous product of open immigration is appalling, considering the multitude of risks and problems that are guaranteed with a policy void of sanction. My teammates have demonstrated the multitude of risks, be it economic, safety, or political, that would come with an open border. The threat of terrorism and acts of hate towards our safety are increased greatly with the influx of foreigners who migrate to the United States under the ideal of open immigration. Economically, this conflict is escalated when the jobs of domestic-born Americans are robbed from them by the masses of immigrants. Escalating on this problem, once again, not only do unrestricted immigrants bring over masses of cheap labor, they bring both drugs and crime. This threatens our personal safety, our family's safety, and our economic prosperity. Politically, these populist immigrants skew the vote and political balance and diminish the influence of the native-born Americans. Finally, the tax evasion of the many undocumented immigrants harms our economy and promotes illegal activities. By providing evidence regarding these harms of immigration, reclamation of the right to restrict immigration is proven a necessity. Our opponents stated that open immigration should be maintained because it was the foundation of our country, and it creates diversity that helps make our society great. But through strong reasoning, including the fact that the change of immigrants over time has brought in unhelpful and potentially dangerous individuals, we have proven that the cons outweigh the pros. On top of that, to mollify our opponents, a policy restricting immigration would simply vet out the dangerous immigrants, allowing for a controlled population to enter and experience the preserved American prosperity. In a land of high standard of living, honesty, and justice, the harms brought about by open immigration make such a policy impossible to maintain without sacrificing our liberty.
Okay, 1 minute, 57 seconds. Good.